I want you to pay close attention to these words, for they contain within them the very essence of the law that governs all creation. You see, my dear friends, the world you perceive around you is nothing more than a reflection of your own consciousness. It is a mirror that faithfully reproduces the contents of your mind, your beliefs, and most importantly, your imagination. Let us begin by understanding a fundamental truth. You are God. Yes, you heard me correctly. You are God, individualized and made manifest in human form. The I am within you is God, and there is no other. This realization is the foundation upon which all manifestation rests. For when you truly understand and accept this truth, you will come to know that all power resides within you. Now, you might be wondering, Neville, how can I possibly manifest anything in just 48 hours? The answer, my friends, lies in the power of your imagination coupled with the feeling of the wish fulfilled. You see, creation is finished. All possible states already exist in the infinite mind eye, which is your own wonder of riches. Your task is not to create, but to select and occupy the state that you desire to experience. Let me share with you a simple yet profound technique that, when applied with unwavering faith and persistence, can bring about miraculous changes in your life within 40 hours. I call this technique living in the end. It is the art of assuming the feeling of your wish fulfilled, of experiencing in your imagination the reality you desire as if it were already a fact in your world. To begin, you must first clearly define what it is you wish to manifest. Be specific, my dear friends. The more clearly you can articulate your desire, the more powerfully you can imagine it. Once you have identified your desire, close your eyes and create a scene in your mind that implies the fulfillment of your wish. Make this scene as vivid and as real as possible. Engage all your senses. What do you see? What do you hear? What do you feel? What do you smell? What do you taste? For example, your desire is to manifest a new job. Imagine yourself sitting in your new office. Feel the texture of the chair beneath you. Look around and notice the details of your surroundings. Hear the sounds of your colleagues congratulating you on your new position. Feel the sense of pride and accomplishment that comes with achieving your goal. Now, here's the crucial part. You must persist in this imaginal act until it takes on the tone of reality. You must continue to dwell in this state, to live in the end, until you can no longer differentiate between your imaginative and your experience and your physical reality. This is what I mean when I say an assumption, though false, if persisted in, will harden into fact. Remember, my friends, imagination creates reality. What you assume to be true, what you feel to be real, must and will objectify itself in your world. This is the law, and it is infallible. Your three-dimensional world is nothing more than an outpicturing of your inner, four-dimensional reality. Now you might be thinking, but Neville, surely it takes more than just imagining to make things happen in the real world. Let me assure you it does not. Your imagination is the very substance of reality. It is the creative power of the universe, individualized as you. When you imagine and feel your wish fulfilled, you are literally rearranging the substance of the universe to conform to your assumption. Consider the words of William Blake: what seems to be is to those to whom it seems to be, and is productive of the most dreadful consequences to those to whom it seems to be. In other words, what you perceive to be real becomes real in its consequences. This is why it's crucial to carefully select the state you wish to occupy, for you will inevitably bear the fruit of that state. Let's delve deeper into the practice of living in the end. As you go about your day, carry with you the feeling of you are fulfilled. Let every action, every word, every thought be colored by the assumption that you are already the person you wish to be, that you already have what you desire. This is what it means to pray without ceasing. It is a constant, unbroken assumption of the reality of imagined state. Now, some of you might be wondering about the significance of the 48-hour period mentioned in our title. My dear friends, time is a construct of the human mind. In the realm of imagination, in the realm of God, there is no time. All is eternally all. However, in our three-dimensional experience, we perceive the passage of time. The 48-hour period is simply a focal point, a target for your faith and expectation. When you fully embody the feeling of your wish fulfilled, when you completely accept it as your present reality, you set in motion forces beyond your conscious understanding. These forces work tirelessly to bring about the conditions and circumstances necessary for the externalization of your assumption. Often this process happens much faster than you might expect, hence the 48-hour reference. But let me be clear, do not become fixated on the time frame. Your task is to assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled, to live in the end, regardless of any seeming delays or contradictions in your outer world. Remember the words of Scripture, though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come. It will not tarry. Now let's address a common stumbling block that many encounter on this path. You may find that as you attempt to live in your imaginal reality, your physical senses bombard you with evidence to the contrary. You might be tempted to give in to doubt, to abandon your assumption in the face of seeming failure. This, my friends, is the true test of your faith. In such moments, recall the words of Paul, "We walk by faith, not by sight." Your physical senses show you the world of effects, but your imagination deals with the world of causes. Persist in your assumption, no matter what your senses tell you. For it is your persistent assumption that will ultimately reshape your world. Consider the story of the fig tree in the Bible. Jesus, seeing a fig tree with no fruit, cursed it. The next day, Peter noticed that the tree had withered from the roots. This parable beautifully illustrates the power of assumption. Jesus did not wait to see the tree wither before believing it. He assumed it to be so and went on his way. The physical manifestation followed the assumption. In the same way, you must make your assumption and then go about your day, knowing with unwavering faith that what you have assumed must in the middle come to pass. This is the art of detachment. You plant the seed in your imagination and then you let it grow, trusting in the law that governs all creation. Now, some of you might be thinking, but Neville, what if I have conflicting desires? What if I'm not sure exactly what I want to manifest? This is a common concern, and it brings us to an important point. The power of your imagination is infinite, but it requires direction. You must be specific about what you want. If you find yourself torn between different desires, take some time to reflect on what truly resonates with your innermost being. What aligns with your highest good? What brings you a sense of fulfillment and joy when you imagine it? This is where the practice of meditation can be immensely helpful. Quiet your mind, go within, and listen to the voice of your higher self. Once you have clarity about your desire, commit to it fully. Do not waver between states. Choose the state that represents the fulfillment of your wish and occupy it completely. Remember, you can revise your choice at any time, but while you are assuming a particular state, give it your full attention and belief. Let's take a moment to address another crucial aspect of this practice, is the feeling. It's not enough to merely visualize everything what you desire. You must feel it. You must emotionally embody the state of having your wish fulfilled. Emotion is the fuel that powers your imagination and brings your atoms to life. When you imagine your desired reality, allow yourself to feel the joy, the excitement, the gratitude that would naturally accompany the fulfillment of your wish. Let these feelings permeate your entire being, for it is the feeling that gives life to your imaginal acts. Consider the words of Neville. An awakened imagination works with a purpose. It creates and conserves the desirable and transforms or destroys the undesirable. Your feelings are the indicator of which state you are currently occupying. If you find yourself feeling anxious or doubtful, recognize that these feelings are creating undesirable conditions in your life. Immediately shift your attention to the feeling of your wish fulfilled. This is the transformative power of your imagination of earth. Now let's explore a powerful technique that can help you maintain the feeling of your wish fulfilled throughout your day. I call this technique the congratulate scene. Imagine a scene where a friend or loved one is congratulating you on achieving your desire. Hear their words of praise and congratulations. Feel the warmth of their embrace. Allow yourself to fully experience the joy and satisfaction of this moment. Replay this congratulatory scene in your mind whenever you need to reinforce your assumption. Use it as a touchstone to bring you back to the feeling of your wish fulfilled. The more you practice this, the more natural and real it will become, until it permeates your entire consciousness. Remember, my dear friends, your imagination is not bound by the limitations of your physical world. In your imagination, you can be, do, or have anything you desire. There are no restrictions, no limitations, except those you impose upon yourself. Therefore, dare to imagine greatly. Dare to assume the best for yourself and for others. As we continue our exploration of this profound law, let us consider its implications in our daily lives. Every moment of every day, you are using your imagination, whether consciously or unconsciously. Every thought, every assumption is shaping your reality. This realization brings with it great responsibility, but also a great opportunity. You have the power to consciously direct your imagination towards the fulfillment of your desires. You have the ability to choose the states you will occupy, and thus the experiences you will have. This is true freedom, my friends. It is the freedom to create your life exactly as you wish it to be. Now, some of you might be wondering about the role of action in this process. Surely you might think you might need to do something in the physicality, in that physical world, to bring about my desire. Let me clarify this point. Actually, it's important. But it must be inspired action. Action that flows naturally from your assumption. When you truly live in the end, when you fully occupy the state of your wish fulfilled, you will find yourself naturally taking the actions that align with that state. These actions will not feel force-trained. They will feel natural and effortless because they are simply an expression of who you have become in your imagination. Consider the example of a person who desires to be a successful author. This person doesn't need to force themselves to write. Instead, they assume the state of being a successful author. They live from that state, feeling the satisfaction and joy of having written best-selling books. From this assumed state, the act of writing flows naturally and joyfully. It becomes an expression of who they are, rather than a chore they must complete. This is the difference between inspired action and forced action. Inspired action comes from being, while forced action comes from a sense of lack or need. Always remember being precedes doing. First, be the person who has what you desire, and the doing will follow naturally. Now let's address a question that often arises: what about other people? Don't they have their own free will? How can my imagination affect them? This is a profound question, and it touches on the very nature of reality itself. Remember, my dear friends, there is only one consciousness. The I am within you is the same I am that animates all of creation. When you change your conception of yourself, you change your conception of others. As you assume a new state for yourself, you are simultaneously assuming a state for you, anyone in your world. This doesn't mean you're controlling others or infringing on their free will. Rather, you're experiencing a different version of them that aligns with your new state. In essence, you're moving into a parallel reality where everyone plays the part that fits your new assumption. This understanding liberates you from the need to change others or to manipulate external circumstances. Your only task is to change yourself, to assume the state of consciousness that aligns with your desire. As you do this, you will find that others naturally conform to your new assumption. Let's take a moment to address a common concern that often arises when people first encounter these teachings. You might be thinking, this sounds too good to be true. Surely there must be some catch, some limitation to what I can manifest. My dear friends, the only limitations that exist are those you accept in your own mind. The power of your imagination is truly infinite. It is the very creative power of the universe, individualized as you. Therefore, there is nothing you cannot be, do, or have when you align your imagination with the highest good. However, it's important to understand that this power comes with great responsibility. As you begin to grasp the magnitude of your creative ability, you must also cultivate wisdom and compassion. Use your imagination to create not just for your own benefit, but for the benefit of all. For in truth, there is no separation between you and others. We are all one, expressions of the same divine consciousness. Now let's delve deeper into the practical application of this law. How can you ensure that you maintain your desired state consistently over the 48-hour period and beyond? The key lies in persistence and faith. Persistence means continuing in your assumption, regardless of any seeming contradictions in your outer world. It means holding fast to your imaginal reality, even when your senses scream otherwise. This persistence is what separates those who succeed in manifesting their desires from those who give up too soon. Faith, on the other hand, is not mere belief. It is the evidence of things not seen. It is the absolute conviction that what you have assumed in your imagination is already a reality on the unseen plans and must therefore manifest in your visible world. This faith is unshakable, for it is based on your understanding of the law that governs all creation. To strengthen your persistence in faith, I recommend the practice of revision. At the end of each day, review the events of your day in your imagination. If any event didn't align with your desired state, revise it in your mind. See it playing out exactly as you would have wanted it to. Feel the satisfaction and joy of this revised version. This practice of revision serves two purposes. First, it reinforces your desired state, keeping you aligned with your assumption. Second, it demonstrates to you the malleability of reality. As you practice revision, you'll begin to understand experientially that reality is fluid, responsive to your consciousness. Another powerful technique to maintain your state is the use of affirmations. These are not mere positive statements, but declarations of truth about your desired reality. Speak these affirmations with feeling, knowing that they are already true on the unseen planes. For example, if your desire is financial abundance, you might affirm, I am wealthy beyond measure. Money flows to me easily and abundantly. Say these words with conviction, feeling the truth of them in every fiber of your being. Let the feeling these words evoke permeate your entire consciousness. Remember that the words themselves are not magic. It's the feeling they evoke, the state they put you in, that creates the bridge between your current reality and your desired reality. Always couple your affirmations with the feeling of the wish fulfilled. Now, as we approach the final stretch of our 48-hour manifestation period, it's crucial to address the concept of detachment. This might seem contradictory at first. How can you live in the state of your wish fulfilled, your wish simultaneously detached from the outcome? The key is to understand that detachment doesn't mean indifference. It means trusting in the law, knowing that what you have assumed must come to pass. It means relinquishing anxiety and doubt and resting in the certainty of your assumption. Think of it this way: when you plant a seed in the ground, you don't dig it up every day to check if it's growing. You trust in the natural process of growth. You water it, provide sunlight, and then you let it be. This is the kind of detachment I'm talking about. Plant the seed of your desire in your imagination. Nurture it with your assumption, and then let it grow. As we near the end of our 48-hour period, you might find yourself becoming anxious or impatient to see results. This is natural. It's important to resist the urge to look for signs or to test the law. Remember, what the world is a reflection of your inner state. If you're constantly looking for proof, you're actually assuming a state of lack or doubt. Instead, continue to live from the state of your wish fulfilled. Go about your day with the calm assurance that your desire is already yours. Let go of the when and how. Trust that the infinite intelligence of the universe knows the perfect timing and the perfect way to bring your assumption into physical reality. Now, let's address a question that often arises. What if I don't see my desire manifested within 48 hours? My dear friends, remember that time is a construct of the human mind. In the realm of imagination, in the realm of God, there is no time. Your task is not to make your desire happen within a certain time frame, but to assume the feeling of the wish fulfilling regardless of outer appearances. If the 48-hour period passes and you haven't seen physical evidence of your desire, do not be discouraged. This is not a failure, but an opportunity to deepen your faith and strengthen your assumption. Continue to live in the end. Persist in your assumption. For it is written, the vision has its own appointed hour. It ripens, it will flower. If it be long, then for it is sure, and it will not be late. Remember, the law is infallible. What you assume with feeling must objectify it in your world. Sometimes the seed you've planted needs more time to germinate. Sometimes things need to rearrange themselves in the invisible realm before they can manifest in the visible. Your job is to hold fast your assumption to continually in the end, knowing that the trial must come to pass. As we conclude our exploration of this profound law, I want to remind you of a fundamental truth. You are the operant power in your world. Your consciousness is the only reality. Everything you perceive is a reflection of your own wonderful human imagination. This understanding brings with it immense power, but also great responsibility. Use this power wisely. Use it to create a life of joy, abundance, and fulfillment, not just for yourself, but for all of humanity. For in truth, there is no separation between you and others. We are all one, expressing the same divine consciousness. My dear friends, you now have in your possession the key to unlocking the infinite potential of your imagination. You understand that by assuming the feeling of your wish fulfilled, by living in the end, you can manifest anything in your world. Go forth now and apply this law in your life. Test it for yourself. For it is in the application, in the living of this truth, that you will truly come to know its power. Remember, your imagination is the very substance of reality. Use it consciously, use it lovingly, and watch as your world transforms before your very eyes. In closing, I want to leave you with these words. You are divine. You are limitless. You are the creator of your reality. Embrace this truth. Live from this understood, and nothing will be impossible for you. The world is yours to shape according to your highest vision. Thank you, my wonderful friends, for your attention and your presence. May you go forth and create a life beyond your wildest dreams. For truly, with your imagination as your guide, anything is possible. Anything can be manifested. And it all begins with this simple yet profound practice. Assume the feeling of your wish fulfilled. Live in the end. And watch as your world transforms to match your assumption. Remember, you are not bound by your past, by your current circumstances, or by what others think is possible for you. You are bound only by the limits of your own imagination. And as we've discovered, that imagination is infinite in its potential. So dream big, my friends. Imagine greatly. Assume states that fill you with joy, with excitement, with a sense of purpose and fulfillment. For as you do so, you are quite literally reshaping the substance of the universe to match your assumption. And remember, this is not a one-time event. This is a way of life. Continue to use your imagination consciously. Continue to assume the states you desire. And you will find that your life becomes an ever-unfolding miracle, a constant demonstration of the creative power that resides within you. Go now and put this law to the test. Live these next 48 hours from your wish fulfilled. Feel it, embody and become it. And know with absolute certainty that what you are assuming must and will manifest in your world. You are the author of your life story. Write it beautifully, write it boldly, and watch as the universe conspires to bring your grandest visions into reality. For truly with your imagination as your ally, there are no limits to what you can achieve, what you can come, what you can manifest. The power is yours. The choice is yours. The life you desire is yours for the taking. Simply assume it, feel it, live it, and must be so. This is the law, and it cannot fail. Thank you, my dear friends. May your journey of conscious creation be filled with joy, wonder, and endless possibilities. Remember always you are God individualized, and your imagination is the creative power of the universe. Use it wisely, use it lovingly, and watch as miracles unfold in your life. Go forth now and create the life of your dreams, for it is your divine right and your sacred responsibility. The world awaits your creative touch. Shape it with love, with wisdom, and with the full power of your awakened imagination. Now let us delve into the depths of this concept, for it is not merely a phrase of encouragement, but a fundamental truth of the universe itself. You see, in this vast cosmos, in this grand tapestry of existence, you are both the creator and the creation. Your journey, your struggles, your aspirations, they are all part of a divine plan, a plan that you yourself have set in motion. When I say, please keep going, you're so close, I am not speaking of a physical distance or a tangible goal. No, my dear friends, I am speaking of a state of consciousness, a realm of being that exists within you at this very moment. It is a state of perfection, of completion, of absolute fulfillment. And you are so much closer to it than you can possibly imagine. Consider for a moment the nature of your desires. Whatever it is that you seek, be it love, abundance, health, or success, know that these desires are not random occurrences. They are not whims or fancies that float aimlessly in your mind. No, they are seeds planted by the divine within you, seeds that contain within them the very essence of their fulfillment. When you feel a burning desire for something, when you can taste it, touch it, feel it in your imagination, know that you are experiencing the end result in a dimension beyond the physical. In that moment of imagining, you are living from the end. You are experiencing the fulfillment of your desire in the only place it can truly exist, in your consciousness. So why, you may ask, do we sometimes feel stuck? Why does it seem that our desires are far from our grasp? The answer, my friends, lies in our perception of time and space. We have been conditioned to believe in a linear progression of events, in a world of cause and effect, where our desires must be pursued, chased, and conquered. But I tell you this, the world you see around you is nothing but a shadow, a reflection of your inner state. The events and circumstances of your life are not happening to you, they are happening from you. They are the outpicturing of your consciousness, the manifestation of your dominant thoughts and beliefs. When I urge you to keep going, I am not asking you to struggle or to fight against the current of life. No, I am inviting you to persist in your assumption of the wish fulfilled. I am asking you to continue living from the end, to maintain that feeling of your desire already being a reality. You see, the bridge of incidents that leads to the manifestation of your desire in the physical world is not built by your hands. It is constructed by a power far greater than your conscious mind can comprehend. This power, which some call God, others call the subconscious, and I often refer to as your wonderful human imagination, knows the perfect way to bring about the fulfillment of your desire. Your only task, your sole responsibility, is to assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled, to live in the end, to experience in your imagination the joy, the satisfaction, the absolute knowing that your desire is already yours. And in doing so, you set in motion forces beyond your comprehension, forces that will move heaven and earth to bring about the manifestation of your assumption. Now let us ponder for a moment on the concept of being so close in the world of Chisa. In the realm of physical senses, closeness is measured by distance and time. But in the realm of consciousness, in the dimension of imagination, there is no distance, no time, no separation between you and your desire. In fact, the very existence of your desire is proof of its fulfillment. For how could you desire something if it did not already exist in a dimension beyond the physical? Your desire is a glimpse into the infinite possibilities that exist in the realm of pure potential. It is a call from your future self, inviting you to step into that reality. So when I say you're so close, I am reminding you of this truth, that in consciousness, in the only place that truly matters, you are already one with your desire. You are not moving towards it. You are moving from it. Every moment that you maintain the assumption of your wish fulfilled, you are strengthening that reality, making it more and more dominant in your consciousness until it has no choice but to reflect in your physical experience. My dear friends, understand this, the world of Caesar, the world of physical senses, is always secondary. It is always a reflection, a shadow of your inner world. Your true power lies not in manipulating external circumstances, but in controlling your inner conversations, your mental diet, your assumptions about yourself and the world around you. When you find yourself doubting when the physical world seems to contradict your desire, remember this. What you are seeing is the shadow of past thoughts and beliefs. It is the harvest of seeds planted in the past. But in this moment right now, you have the power to plant new seeds, to assume a new state, to live from the end of your desire fulfilled. The feeling of being close, of being on the verge of a breakthrough, is not something to be sought externally. It is a state to be assumed, a feeling to be inhabited. When you truly understand this, when you grasp the immense power of your imagination, you will realize that you are never far from your desire. You are always just one assumption away from living in the end. Consider the story of the Israelites wandering in the desert for 40 years. They were always just on the outskirts of the promised land, always so close, yet their doubts, their fears, their inability to assume the state of already being in the land of milk and honey kept them wandering. But the moment they assumed the state of being in the promised land, the moment they lived from that assumption, the walls of Jericho fell, and they entered into their inheritance. You, my dear listener, are in a similar position. The promised land of your fulfilled desire is not a physical place, but a state of consciousness, and you are always just one assumption away from entering it. The walls that seem to separate you from your desire are not made of stone and mortar, but of beliefs and assumptions. And they must fall, when you assume the state of your wish fulfilled. So I implore you, please keep going. Not in the sense of struggling or striving, but in the sense of persisting in your assumption. Keep going and living from the end. Keep going and feeling the reality of your desire fulfilled. For you are so close, closer than you can possibly imagine. Remember, the kingdom of heaven is within you. The fulfillment of all your desires exists within you right now. It is not something to be attained, but something to be realized, to be assumed, to be lived from. And as you persist in this assumption, as you continue to live from the end, you will find that the outer world has no choice but to conform to your inner conviction. Now let us delve deeper into the mechanics of this process, for understanding is the first step towards mastery. When you imagine your desire fulfilled, when you assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled, you are literally rearranging the substance of the universe. You are impressing upon the subconscious mind a new concept of self, a new pattern that it must outpicture in your physical reality. The subconscious mind, you see, is the creative power of the universe. It is God in action. It knows no limitations, no impossibilities. It does not question or analyze. It simply accepts and expresses what is impressed upon it. And what is impressed upon it most dominantly? Your assumptions, your inner conversations, your mental diet. When you consistently assume the feeling of your wish fulfilled, when you make it a habit to live from the end, you are feeding your subconscious mind with the seeds of your desire. And just as a seed planted in fertile soil must grow and express itself, so too must your assumption grow and express itself in your physical reality. But here's where many stumble, where many lose faith and give up just short of the finish line. You see, between the planting of the seed and the harvest, there is often a period of silence, a time when nothing seems to be happening. In the physical world, it may appear as though your desire is still far off, as though your efforts are in vain. This, my dear friends, is the true test of faith. This is where I implore you to keep going, for you are so close. This period of apparent inactivity is not a sign of failure. It is the gestation period of your desire. Just as a pregnant woman does not doubt the reality of the child growing within her womb, even though she cannot see it, so too must you not doubt the reality of your desire growing in the womb of your subconscious mind. During this time, it is crucial that you maintain your assumption. Do not waver, do not doubt, do not give in to the evidence of your physical senses. For remember, what you are seeing in the outer world is the shadow of past thoughts and beliefs. It is the harvest of seeds planted in the past. But in this moment, right now, you are planting new seeds. You are assuming a new state. And if you persist, if you keep going, you will see the manifestation of this new state. Think of it like this. Imagine you are in a dark room and you've just turned on the light. For a moment, your eyes may still see darkness. But does that mean the light isn't on? Of course not. There's simply a brief delay between the action of turning on the light and your eyes adjusting to perceive it. Your manifestation works in much the same way. The moment you assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled, it is done. The light is on. Your only task is to persist in this assumption until your physical senses catch up to this new reality. Now let me share with you a powerful technique to help you persist in your assumption, to keep going when doubt and fear try to creep in. It's a technique I call living in the end, and it's as simple as it is profound. Each night, as you lay down to sleep, and each morning as you wake, take a few moments to imagine a scene that implies the fulfillment of your desire. Make this scene as vivid and as real as you possibly can. Engage all your senses. If your desire is for a loving relationship, feel the warmth of your loved one's embrace. If it's for financial abundance, feel the crisp notes in your hands, smell the leather of your new car, hear the congratulations of your friends on your frock. If it's for perfect health, feel the vitality in your body, the ease of movement, the joy of boundless energy. Live in this scene, immerse yourself in it completely. Feel the satisfaction, the joy, the absolute knowing that your desire is now a reality. And as you drift off to sleep, or as you start your day, carry this feeling with you. Let it color your perceptions. Let it inform your actions. Let it become your new reality. You see, my dear friends, your subconscious mind does not distinguish between what you vividly imagine and what you actually experience in the physical world. By living in the end in your imagination, you are literally experiencing the fulfillment of your desire. And your subconscious mind, accepting this as reality, will work tirelessly to bring about the circumstances that match this new self-concept. Now I can hear some of you thinking, but Neville, I've been doing this and still my desire hasn't manifested. How long must I keep going? And to you, I say this: as long as it takes. For time is a construct of the human mind, a convenience for organizing our physical experiences. In the realm of consciousness, in the dimension where all possibilities exist, there is no time. Your desire is not something to be achieved in the future. It is a state to be assumed now. The moment you genuinely assume the feeling of the wish fulfillment, it is done. The seed is planted. And just as you wouldn't dig up a seed to see if it's growing, do not constantly check your physical reality to see if your desire has manifested. Trust in the law, have faith in the process, and keep going. Remember, you're so close. Closer than you can possibly imagine. For in truth, there is no distance between you and your desire. The only separation is in your mind, in your assumption of lack or limitation. The moment you drop these limiting beliefs, the moment you fully assume the state of your wish fulfilled, you will find that your desire has been there all along, waiting for you to claim it. Consider the story of the prodigal son. He left his father's house, wandered in a far country, experienced lack and limitation. But the moment he remembered who he truly was, the moment he assumed his rightful place as the beloved son, he found that the abundance of his father's house had been there all along. He didn't have to earn it or achieve it. He simply had to claim it, to assume it, to live from it. You, my dear listener, are in the same position. The abundance, the love, the health, the success you desire, it's all there in your Father's house, in the realm of pure potential. You don't have to earn it or achieve it. You simply have to assume it, to live from it, to keep going in the absolute conviction that it is already yours. Now let me address another common stumbling block. Many of you may be thinking, but Neville, what about action? Don't I need to do something to make my desire a reality? And to this I say action is important. But it's not the cause of your manifestation, it's the effect. When you truly assume the state of the wish fulfilled, when you live from the end, you will find yourself naturally inspired to take the right actions. These actions will not feel like struggle or effort. They will feel natural, joyful, almost effortless. For you will be acting not from a place of lack or need, but from a place of abundance and fulfillment. Think of it like this. If you were already the person who has what you desire, how would you act? What decisions would you make? How would you carry yourself? This is the kind of action I'm talking about. It's not about forcing yourself to do things you think you should do. It's about naturally embodying the state of your wish fulfilled in every aspect of your life. And here's a crucial point. Even as you take inspired action, do not fall into the trap of thinking that these actions are the cause of your manifestation. The cause is always your assumption, your state of consciousness. The actions are simply the bridge of incidents that your subconscious mind constructs to lead you to the fulfillment. So please keep going. Keep assuming the state of the wish fulfilled. Keep living from the end. For you are so close, so incredibly close to the manifestation of your desire. The only thing standing between you and your desire is your assumption of separation from it. Drop that assumption, and you will find that what you seek has been seeking you all along. Now, let me share with you another powerful technique to help you persist in your assumption, to keep going when the world of Caesar seems to contradict your desire. It's a technique I call revision, and it's a way of rewriting your past to align with your desired future. You see, many of us carry the weight of past failures, disappointments, and negative experiences. These memories can act as barriers, preventing us from fully assuming the state of our wish fulfilled. But here's the truth. The past only exists in your memory. And memory, my dear friends, is imagination applied to the past. Just as you can imagine a desired future, you can reimagine your past. And in doing so, you can remove the mental blocks that stand between you and your desire. Here's how it works. Each night, before you sleep, review the events of your day, but instead of accepting them as they appear to happen, revise them. Reimagine them in a way that aligns with your desire, with the person you want to be. If someone was rude to you, revise the scene. Imagine them being kind and respectful. If you made a mistake at work, revise it. See yourself performing flawlessly. If you received bad news, revise it. Hear yourself receiving good news instead. This is not about denying reality or living in fantasy. It's about understanding that your outer world is a reflection of your inner world. And by changing your inner world, your memorials, your assumptions, your self-concept, you change the reflection. As you practice revision consistently, you'll find that your past no longer has power over you. You'll be free to fully assume the state of your wish fulfilled without the weight of past failures holding you back. And remember, you're revising not just for a better feeling, but to impress upon your subconscious mind a new concept of self, a new pattern that it must express in your future experiences. Now I can hear some of you thinking, but Neville, this all sounds too good to be true. Surely it can't be this simple, and to you I say it is this simple. But that doesn't mean it's always easy. The simplicity of the law often becomes a stumbling block for those who are used to struggle and complexity. You see, we've been conditioned to believe that anything worthwhile must be difficult to attain. We've been taught that success requires hard work, sacrifice, and often a bit of luck. But I tell you this, the only hard work required is the work of changing your assumptions, of disciplining your mind to consistently assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled. This inner work, this mental discipline, can indeed be challenging. It requires vigilance, persistence, and faith. But compared to the endless struggle of trying to change the outer world without first changing your inner world, it is infinitely easier and more effective. So please keep going. Keep doing this inner work. Keep assuming the feeling of the wish fulfilled, for you are so close, so incredibly close to the tipping point, to the moment when your assumption becomes your reality. Remember, every moment is a new opportunity to assume the state of your wish fulfilled. Every breath is a chance to live from the end. Don't wait for the perfect moment, for the stars to align, for all conditions to be favorable. The perfect moment is now. The power is within you always. Now, let me address another common concern. Many of you may be wondering, but Neville, what if I have multiple desires? Should I focus on one at a time, or can I manifest multiple things simultaneously? To this I say, you are not limited in your ability to manifest. The power of your wonderful human imagination is infinite. Just as the sun shines on all things equally without diminishing its light, so too can you assume the fulfillment of multiple desires without diluting your creative power. The key is to understand that all your desires, no matter how varied they may seem, stem from one fundamental desire. The desire to experience a greater expression of your true self. Whether you desire love, wealth, health, or success, what you're really seeking is a fuller expression of who you truly are. So instead of thinking of your desires as separate goals to be achieved, think of them as different aspects of and self it assumes. Create in your imagination a version of yourself that embodies all these desires fulfilled. See yourself as the person who has the loving relationship, the financial abundance, the vibrant health, the successful career. Feel the satisfaction, the joy, the peace that comes from being this ideal version of yourself. Make this your new self-concept. Live from this state, and you will find that all your desires begin to manifest, not as separate achievements, but as natural expressions of who you have become. Remember, the outer world is always a reflection of your inner state. As you assume this new ideal self-concept, your outer world must rearrange itself to match this inner reality. It has no choice. It is law. Now, I want to address a question that often arises when one begins to understand the power of their imagination. Many ask, but Neville, if my imagination creates reality, why do bad things happen? Why is there suffering in the world? This is a profound question, and it touches on the very nature of our existence. You see, the power of imagination is indeed absolute, but it operates according to our assumptions and beliefs, both conscious and unconscious. Many of us, without realizing it, hold beliefs of limitation, lack, and separation. We accept as reality a world of conflict, scarcity, and suffering, and in doing so, we perpetuate these conditions. But here's the liberating truth. Just as we have imagined these conditions in being, we can imagine them out of existence. The suffering we see in the world is not a fixed, unchangeable reality. It is a shadow, a reflection of humanity's collective assumptions and beliefs. As you awaken to the power of your imagination, as you begin to consciously create your reality, you become a beacon of light in this world. Your own transformation, your own shift from limitation to abundance, from fear to love, has a ripple effect that goes far beyond your individual life. So please keep going, not just for yourself, but for all of humanity. As you persist in assuming the state of your wish fulfilled As you continue to live from the end, you are contributing to a collective shift in consciousness. You are playing your part in creating a world that reflects the highest and best in all of us. Remember, you're so close to fully realizing your power as a creative being, so close to stepping into the fullness of who you truly are, so close to becoming a conscious co-creator of your reality. Now, let me share with you one more powerful concept that will help you persist in your assumption, that will give you the strength to keep going, even when the outer world seems to contradict your desire. It's the concept of the Sabbath. In the biblical tradition, the Sabbath is a day of rest, a day when all work ceases. But in the context of conscious creation, the Sabbath takes on a deeper meaning. It represents a state of mind, a state of complete assurance and peace, knowing that your desire is already fulfilled. You enter the Sabbath when you no longer feel the need to do anything to achieve your desire, when you can completely let go, knowing with absolute certainty that what you've imagined is already done. This is the ultimate act of faith, the purest expression of living in the end. Entering the Sabbath doesn't mean you stop taking inspired action in your daily life. It means you stop striving. You stop trying to make your desire happen through force of will. You simply rest in the knowledge that it is done, allowing the infinite intelligence of your subconscious mind to bring about the manifestation in the most perfect way. This state of Sabbath, of complete rest and assurance, is the most powerful state you can assume. For in this state, you are fully aligned with the creative power of the universe. You are one with the source of all manifestation. So I urge you, enter the Sabbath. Rest from your labors. Know that your desire is already fulfilled. Feel the peace, the joy, the absolute certainty of this knowing. And from this state of complete assurance, watch as your outer world transforms to match your inner conviction. My dear friends, as we draw this discourse to a close, I want to remind you once more, please keep going. You're so close. Closer than you can possibly imagine to the realization of your desires, to the full expression of your true self, to the creation of a life beyond your wildest dreams. Remember, the power is within you. It always has been, and it always will be. Your wonderful human imagination is the very workshop of creation. Use it wisely, use it lovingly, use it persistently. For as you assume, so shall it be. Go forth now with this knowledge burning brightly in your heart. Live from the end, persist in your assumption. Enter the Sabbath of complete assurance, and know with every fiber of your being that your desire is already fulfilled, that you are already the person you wish to be, that you already have everything you seek. For in truth, there is no separation between you and your desire. There never was. The only separation was in your mind, in your assumption. And now that you know the truth, now that you understand the power of your imagination, that separation dissolves. So please keep going, keep assuming, keep believing, keep living from the end. For you are so close, so incredibly close to the full realization of your power, to the complete manifestation of your desires, to the perfect expression of your true self. And in this realization, in this manifestation, in this expression, you will find not just the fulfillment of your individual desires, but the key to transforming our entire world. For as you change your concept of self, as you assume the state of your wish fulfilled, you become a living example of what's possible. You become a light in the darkness, a beacon of hope and possibility for all who cross your path. So go forth, my dear friends, with this knowledge, with this power, with this responsibility. Keep going, for you are so close. So close to becoming who you truly are. So close to creating the life you desire. So close to changing the world through the power of your imagination. Remember, it is done. It is finished. Your desire is already fulfilled in the realm of pure potential. Your only task now is to assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled, to live from the end, to enter the Sabbath of complete assurance. Do this, persist in this, and watch as your world transforms before your very eyes. For you are the operant power. You are the creative force. You are the God in action, creating your reality moment by moment through the power of your assumptions. Embrace this truth, live this truth, become this truth. And so, my beloved listeners, I leave you with these final words. Please keep going. You're so close. The fulfillment of your desires, the realization of your dreams, the expression of your true self, it's all right there waiting for you to claim it. Step into it now with faith, with conviction, with the absolute knowing that it is already yours. For in the end, and in the beginning, and in every moment in between, you are the creator of your reality. You are the author of your story. You are the master of your fate. So write boldly, create fearlessly, and live fully from the state of your wish fulfilled. Keep going, for you are so close, so incredibly, wonderfully, miraculously close. The life you desire is not a distant dream, it is your present reality, waiting for you to fully step into it. So step now, leap now. Embrace now the truth of who you are and what you're capable of creating. For in this moment, and in every moment, you are unlimited, unbounded, infinite in your potential. You are the power you seek, the love you desire, the abundance you crave. It's all within you. Always has been, always will be. So please keep going, for you are so close to the full realization of your divine nature, so close to the complete expression of your infinite potential, so close to the perfect manifestation of your heart's deepest desires. Keep going, for in your persistence lies your power. In your assumption lies your achievement. In your imagination lies your infinite potential. You are so close, closer than you've ever been, closer than you can possibly imagine. The fulfillment of your desires is not a distant goal. It is your present reality. Step into it now. Embrace it now. Live from it now. For you are the creator, the created, and the very act of creation itself. In you, all things are possible. Through you, all dreams come true. As you, all desires are fulfilled. So please keep going. You're so close, so incredibly, miraculously, wonderfully close. The life you desire is not waiting for you in some distant future. It is here now, waiting for you to claim it. Claim it now. Live it now. Be it now. For you are so close to the full realization of your power, so close to the complete manifestation of your desires, so close to the perfect expression of your true self. Keep going. Keep believing. Keep assuming. Keep living from the end. For you are so close, so incredibly, unimaginably close. And in this closeness, in this proximity to your fulfilled desire, you will find not just the realization of your individual dreams, but the key to transforming our entire world. For as you step into the fullness of who you truly are, as you fully embody the state of your wish fulfilled, you become a living testament to the power that lies within each and every one of us. So please keep going, for you are so close to becoming the change you wish to see in the world, so close to inspiring others through your own transformation, so close to creating a ripple effect of positive change that will touch countless lives. Remember, the power is within you. It always has been, and it always will be. Your wonderful human imagination is the very workshop of creation. Use it wisely, use it lovingly, use it persistently. For as you assume, so shall it be. Go forth now with this knowledge burning brightly in your heart. Live from the end, persist in your assumption, enter the Sabbath of complete assurance, and know with every fiber of your being that your desire is already fulfilled, that you are already the person you wish to be, that you already have everything you seek. For in truth, there is no separation between you and your desire. There never was. The only separation was in your mind, in your assumption. And now that you know the truth, now that you understand the power of your imagination, that separation dissolves. So please keep going, keep assuming, keep believing, keep living from the end. For you are so close, so incredibly close to the full realization of your power, to the complete manifestation of your desires, to the perfect expression of your true self. And in this realization, in this manifestation, in this expression, you will find not just the fulfillment of your individual desires, but the key to transforming our entire world. For as you change your concept of self, as you assume the state of your wish fulfilled, you become a living example of what's possible. You become a light in the darkness, a beacon of hope and possibility for all who cross your path. So go forth, my dear friends, with this knowledge, with this power, with this responsibility. Keep going, for you are so close to becoming who you truly are, so close to creating the life you desire, so close to changing the world through the power of your imagination.
Ladies and gentlemen, I've wanted many things in my life that I haven't received. And to that I say, my dear friends, you have indeed received exactly what you wanted, but perhaps not in the way you expected. You see, the universe operates on a principle so simple, yet so profound, that many of us overlook it entirely. This principle is the law of assumption. It states that your outer world is a perfect reflection of your inner world. In other words, what you experience in your physical reality is a direct manifestation of your dominant thoughts, feelings, and beliefs. Let us delve deeper into this concept. Imagine, if you will, that your consciousness is like a garden. The thoughts you think, the emotions you feel, the beliefs you hold, these are the seeds you plant in this garden. And just as surely as an acorn grows into an oak tree, these mental seeds grow into the experiences of your life. Now you might be thinking, but Neville, I've had negative experiences that I certainly didn't want. And to that I would say, look closer, my friend. Look at the thoughts and feelings you were harboring before and during those experiences. Were you not perhaps expecting the worst? Were you not, on some level, assuming that things would go wrong? You see, the human mind is a powerful thing. It doesn't distinguish between what you want and what you don't want. It simply takes your dominant thoughts and feelings and brings them into manifestation. This is why it's crucial to be mindful of what you're focusing on, what you're assuming to be true. Consider for a moment the story of a man I once knew. He was constantly worried about losing his job. Day in and day out, he fretted about it, imagined worst-case scenarios, and lived in a state of perpetual anxiety. And do you know what happened? He lost his job. Now you might say, see, Neville, he got what he didn't want. But I say to you, he got exactly what he was focusing on, exactly what he was assuming would happen. This, my friends, is the crux of the matter. You always get what you want, because what you truly want is determined not by your surface-level desires, but by your deepest assumptions about yourself and the world around you. Let's explore this further. Think about a time in your life when you achieved something you had long desired. Perhaps it was a promotion at work, a loving relationship, or a personal accomplishment. Now consider your state of mind leading up to that achievement. Chances are, you were confident. You believed it was possible. You could see yourself already in possession of your desire. This, dear friends, is the secret. When you assume the feeling of your wish fulfilled, when you live from the end as if your desire has already been realized, you align yourself with the creative power of the universe. You plant the seed of your desire in the fertile soil of your imagination. And the universe, in its infinite wisdom and power, brings it into manifestation. But here's where many people stumble. They say they want something, but their dominant thoughts and feelings tell a different story. They say they want financial abundance, but they constantly worry about money. They say they want a loving relationship, but they harbor beliefs about being unworthy of love. They say they want success, but they fear failure. In each of these cases, what do you think these individuals will receive? That's right. Exactly what they're predominantly thinking and feeling. They will experience financial struggle, loneliness, and setbacks. Not because the universe is cruel or because they're unlucky, but because they're getting precisely what they're assuming to be true. Now, I can hear some of you thinking, but Neville, how can I control my thoughts and feelings? How can I assume something to be true when my current reality shows me the opposite? And to that I say, my dear friends, this is where the true work begins. This is where you must exercise the divine gift of your imagination. You see, your imagination is not some frivolous fantasy maker. It is the very workshop wherein you forge the life you desire. When you use your imagination to assume the feeling of your wish fulfilled, you are engaging in the highest form of creative. You are declaring to the universe, this is who I am. This is what I accept as true. Let me give you an example. Suppose you desire financial abundance, but your current reality is one of lack. The conventional approach would be to worry, distress, to focus on the absence of money. But what does that create? More lack, more struggle, more of the very thing you don't want. Instead, I urge you to do this. Close your eyes. Take a deep breath. And now imagine yourself as you would be if you were already financially abundant. How would you feel? How would you carry yourself? What thoughts would occupy your mind? Would you worry about bills, or would you feel a sense of ease and security? As you engage in this exercise, you'll notice something remarkable. Your body will begin to respond as if what you're imagining is actually true. You might feel a sense of relief, of joy, of freedom. This, my friends, is the feeling of your wish fulfilled. And when you can capture and maintain this feeling, you set in motion the forces that will bring your desire into physical manifestation. It's a crucial point. You must persist in this assumption. You must live from this new state of consciousness consistently. It's not enough to do this exercise once and then return to your old patterns of thought and feeling. You must make this new assumption your dwelling place. Now, some of you might be wondering, but Neville, what about action? Don't we need to do something to achieve our goals? And to that I say, of course, action is important. But understand this inspired action flows naturally from your assumed state of consciousness. When you truly assume the feeling of your wish fulfilled, you'll find yourself naturally taking actions aligned with that state. The financially abundant version of you will make different decisions, see different opportunities, and take different actions than the version of you struggling with lack. This is why I often say that changing your conception of yourself is the key to changing your world. When you change who you believe yourself to be, everything else changes to match that new self-concept. Let's consider another example. Imagine a person who wants to be in a loving relationship. They might go on dates, join dating apps, and actively seek a partner. But if their dominant assumption is that they're unlovable, or that good relationships are hard to come by, what do you think their experience will be? That's right. They'll encounter experiences that confirm their assumption. They might attract partners who don't appreciate them, or find that their relationships always seem to fall apart. Now imagine if this same person were to change their assumption. Imagine if they were to live from the state of being deeply loved and appreciated. How would that change their approach to dating? How would it change the energy they put out into the world? How would it change the way they interact with potential partners? You see, when you assume the state of being loved, you naturally become more open, more confident, more attractive. You send out a different vibration into the universe, and the universe responds in kind. This is how you always get what you want, by becoming it first in your imagination. But let me be clear. This is not about forcing outcomes, of manipulating others. This is about aligning yourself with the truth of who you really are. For in reality, you're not separate from the universe. You are an individualized expression of the one creative power that underlies all of existence. When you truly grasp this truth, when you understand that your consciousness is the one and only reality, you'll see that there is no limit to what you can be, do, or have. For the only limits that exist are those you accept in your own mind. Now, I know some of you might be thinking, but Neville, what about other people? Don't they have a say in what happens in my life? And to that I say, of course, they do, but only to the extent that you allow them to in your consciousness. You see, everyone in your world is you pushed out. They play the parts that you knowingly or unknowingly have assigned to them through your assumptions. If you assume that people are kind and helpful, you'll encounter kindness and help wherever you go. If you assume that the world is a hostile place, you'll find evidence of that hostility all around you. This is why it's so crucial to be mindful of your assumptions about others. When you change your conception of someone, you change how they show up in your experience. This is not about controlling others, but about taking responsibility for your own consciousness and the reality it creates. Let me share with you a personal experience that illustrates this principle. Many years ago, I had a colleague who I found difficult to work with. I assumed he was uncooperative and hostile towards me. And guess what? Every interaction we had seemed to confirm this assumption. But then I decided to apply the principle we're discussing today. I began to imagine this colleague as friendly, supportive, and easy to work with. I would close my eyes and create scenes in my imagination where we were working together harmoniously, where he was praising my work and offering his assistance. At first, nothing seemed to change in our outer interactions. But I persisted in my new assumption. I lived from the state of having a great working relationship with this person. And gradually, miraculously, things began to shift. He became more friendly towards me. He started to offer his help on projects. Our interactions became pleasant and productive. Now that I changed this person, no. What I changed was my assumption about him. And in doing so, I changed how he showed up in my experience. This, my friends, is the power you wield in every moment of your existence. But let's take this principle even further. It doesn't just apply to your interactions with others or to specific goals you want to achieve. It applies to your entire experience of life itself. You see, your fundamental assumptions about the nature of reality shape everything you experience. If you assume that life is hard, that good things are rare, that you have to struggle to get ahead, guess what kind of life you'll experience? That's right. One of hardship, scarcity, and struggle. But what if you were to assume that life is inherently good, that the universe is always working in your favor, that abundance is your natural state? Can you imagine how that would transform your experience? This, my dear friends, is the ultimate secret to always getting what you want. It's not about manipulating external circumstances. It's about aligning your consciousness with the truth of your being, which is one of infinite potential, boundless creativity, and limitless love. When you live from this state of consciousness, you'll find that life begins to flow effortlessly. Opportunities will appear as if by magic. The right people will come into your life at just the right time. Challenges will be transformed into stepping stones for growth. But remember, this is not about passively waiting for good things to come to you. It's about actively assuming the state of consciousness that aligns with your desires. It's about living from the end, feeling the reality of your wish fulfilled, and allowing the universe to rearrange itself accordingly. Now, I know some of you might be thinking, but Neville, this all sounds too good to be true. Surely there must be some catch. And to that I say, the only catch is your own limiting beliefs. The only obstacle is your own doubt and disbelief. You see, the universe doesn't judge. It doesn't decide whether you deserve something or not. It simply responds to your dominant state of consciousness. If you can accept something as true in your imagination, the universe must provide you with experiences that match that acceptance. This is why faith is so crucial. Not blind faith in some external power, but faith in the creative power of your own consciousness. Faith that what you can conceive and believe you can achieve. But here's where many people stumble. They try this principle once or twice, and when they don't see immediate results, they give up. They fall back into their old patterns of thought and feeling, and then wonder why nothing has changed. My friends, creation is finished. The reality you desire already exists in the realm of infinite possibilities. Your job is not to make it happen, but to align your consciousness with it so completely that it has no choice but to manifest in your physical experience. This requires persistence. It requires living from your desired state consistently, even when your senses tell you otherwise. It requires trusting the process, knowing that the seed you've planted in your imagination must, by universal law, grow into your physical reality. Let me give you another example to illustrate this point. Imagine a young woman who dreams of becoming a successful author. She writes diligently but struggles to get published. Rejection letters pile up and she begins to doubt her abilities. Now, if she were to focus on these rejections, if she were to accept the assumption that success is out of her reach, what do you think her experience would be? That's right. More struggle, more rejection, more evidence to support her assumption of failure. But what if, instead, she were to assume the state of being a successful author? What if, every night before sleep, she were to imagine holding her published book in her hands? What if she were to feel the joy of receiving glowing reviews, of seeing her book on bestseller lists, of inspiring readers with her words? If she were to persist in this assumption, living each day from the state of being a successful author, how would that change her approach to writing? How would it change the energy she puts into her work? How would it change the opportunities she notices and acts upon? You see, when you assume the state of your wish fulfilled, you align yourself with the version of you who has already achieved that desire. You begin to think, feel, and act as that version of you would. And in doing so, you naturally take inspired actions that lead to the manifestation of your desire. This, my friends, is how you always get what you want. Not by forcing, not by struggling, not by worrying about how it will happen, but by assuming the state of already having it, by living from that state consistently, and by allowing the universe to bring it into manifestation in its own perfect timing. Now, I want to address something that often comes up when I share these teachings. Some people worry that if everyone could have whatever they wanted, the world would fall into chaos. They fear that people would use this power for selfish or harmful purposes. But here's the beautiful truth. When you truly align with your highest self, when you tap into the creative power of the universe, your desires naturally align with the highest good of all. You see, at our core, we are all expressions of the same divine consciousness. And that consciousness is love itself. So when you operate from this level of awareness, you don't desire things that would harm others or disrupt the harmony of the universe. Instead, you desire to express your unique gift, to create beauty, to serve others, to experience joy and share that joy with the world. This is why I often say that your desire is God's desire for you. The desires that spring from your true self are not random or capricious. They are the universe's way of expressing itself through you, of expanding and evolving through your unique experiences. So never feel guilty about your desires. Never think that wanting something is selfish or wrong. Your desires are sacred. They are the call of your higher self, urging you to grow, to expand, to become more of who you truly are. But here's an important point. See, sometimes what you think you want on a surface level is not what you truly desire at a deeper level. This is why it's crucial to cultivate self-awareness, to really examine your desires and where they're coming from. For example, you might think you want a specific job or relationship, but what you truly desire is the feeling of fulfillment or love that you believe that job or relationship will bring you. When you recognize this, you open yourself to receiving what you truly want in ways you might not have imagined. This is where trust comes in. Trust that the universe knows the best way to fulfill your desires. Trust that if something doesn't manifest exactly as you imagined, it's because something even better is on its way. Remember, you always get what you want. But sometimes, the universe delivers it in a package you didn't expect. This is why it's important to focus on the essence of your desire, rather than the specific form you think it should take. Now, let's talk about the role of action in this process. Some people mistakenly believe that if they just imagine what they want and feel good about it, they can sit back and wait for it to appear. While it's true that inspired action flows naturally from your assumed state, it's still important to act when you feel prompted to do so. The key is to ensure that your actions are aligned with your assumption. If you're assuming the state of being wealthy, act as a wealthy person would act. If you're assuming the state of being in a loving relationship, act as someone in a loving relationship would act. These actions don't have to be grand gestures. Often they're small shifts in your daily behavior. The way you speak about yourself and your life, the choices you make, the opportunities you say yes or not to. All of these should reflect your new assumed state. But here's the crucial point. Your actions should feel natural and joyful. They shouldn't feel like a struggle or a chore. If they do, it's a sign that you haven't fully embodied your new state and may need to spend more time in your imagination, really feeling the reality of your desire. Now, I want to address something that often comes up when people start applying these principles. They wonder, what about my current reality? How can I assume something to be true when my senses tell me otherwise? This, my friends, is where the real work begins. This is where you must exercise your faith and your power of imagination. You must learn to deny the evidence of your senses and live from your desired state, regardless of what your current circumstances show you. This doesn't mean you ignore your current reality or act irresponsibly. It means you acknowledge your present circumstances while simultaneously holding firm to your new assumption. You live in two worlds at once, the world of physical senses and the world of imagination, knowing that the latter will eventually replace the former. Let me give you an example to illustrate this point. Suppose you're currently in debt, but you desire financial abundance. You wouldn't ignore your bills or pretend the debt doesn't exist. You would continue to manage your current finances responsibly. But at the same time, you would live from the state of financial abundance in your imagination. You'd feel the relief of having all your debts paid. You would experience the joy of having more than enough money for all your needs and desires. You would feel the security of an abundant bank account. And you would carry these feelings with you throughout your day, even as you're dealing with your current financial situation. This is what it means to live from the end. It's about holding two realities in your mind simultaneously, while emotionally and mentally residing in the reality you desire to experience. Now, some of you might be thinking, but Neville, this sounds like self-deception. Isn't it better to face reality as it is? And to that I say, what is reality? Is it only what your physical senses show you? Or is there a deeper reality? One that exists in the realm of infinite possibilities, waiting to be called forth by your assumption? You see, what you call reality is simply the outpicturing of past assumptions. It's the harvest of seeds you've planted in the past through your thoughts, feelings, and beliefs. But at any moment, you have the power to plant new seeds, to make new assumptions, and thus to create a new reality. This is not self-deception. This is understanding the true nature of reality and your role as a co-creator with the universe. This is recognizing that your consciousness is the one and only reality, and that everything in your world is a reflection of that consciousness. Now, I want to address another common concern that arises when people begin to apply these principles. They worry about the time lag between their assumption and its manifestation in the physical world. They wonder, how long will it take for my desire to manifest? My friends, time is a construct of the human mind. In the realm of pure consciousness, where all creation takes place, there's no time. Your desire is fulfilled the moment you assume it to be so. The time it takes to appear in your physical reality depends on many factors, including the naturalness of the desire, your ability to maintain your assumption, and the current conditions of your life. But here's the key. Don't concern yourself with the when or the how. Your job is simply to assume the feeling of your wish fulfilled and to live from that state. The universe will take care of the details. Trust the process. Know that what you have assumed must come to pass. Remember, creation is finished. All possible realities already exist. When you assume a new state, you're not creating something new. You're simply selecting a different reality from the infinite array of possibilities that already exist. You're tuning your consciousness to a different frequency, so to speak, and thus experiencing a different version of reality. This understanding should free you from anxiety and impatience. There's no need to worry about whether your desire will manifest. It must, for it already exists. Your only task is to align your consciousness with it through your assumption. Now, let's talk about an aspect of this principle that many people overlook. When you truly understand that you always get what you want, that the universe is constantly responding to your assumptions and delivering experiences that match them, how can you not feel profound gratitude? Gratitude is not just a pleasant emotion. It's a powerful creative force. When you feel grateful, you're affirming that you already have what you desire. You're living from the state of fulfillment, of abundance, of your wish realized. And in doing so, you're aligning yourself even more powerfully with that reality. So cultivate an attitude of gratitude. Be thankful, not just for what you already have in your physical reality, but for what you've assumed in your imagination. Feel the gratitude of already being, doing or having what you desire. Let this feeling permeate your entire being. This gratitude will transform your entire experience of life. You'll find yourself appreciating the present moment more fully, even as you're assuming a different state. You'll see the beauty and perfection in all things, recognizing them as expressions of the same divine consciousness that you are. Now, I want to address something that often comes up as people begin to apply these principles successfully. They start to wonder, if I can have anything I want, what should I want? What if I choose the wrong thing? My friends, there are no wrong desires. Every desire that arises within you is an opportunity for growth for expansion, for a fuller expression of who you truly are. The very fact that you can conceive of something means that it's possible for you to experience it. However, it's worth examining your desires to understand what you truly want at the deepest level. Often what we think we want is just a means to an end. We think we want a specific job, but what we really want is the feeling of fulfillment and purpose that we believe the job will bring. We think we want a particular relationship, but what we really want is the feeling of love and connection. When you recognize this, you open yourself to receiving what you truly want in ways you might not have imagined. You allow the universe to surprise and delight you with its infinite creativity. So instead of focusing on specific forms or outcomes, focus on the essence of what you desire. How do you want to feel? What kind of person do you want to be? What kind of life do you want to live? Assume these states in your imagination and watch as your outer world rearranges itself. Now, as we near the end of our time together, I want to leave you with a challenge. For the next 30 days, choose one desire, something you truly want to experience in your life. It can be anything. A new job, a loving relationship, improved health, a specific sum of money, a particular achievement. Now, every night before you go to sleep, and every morning when you wake up, spend a few minutes imagining that this desire has already been fulfilled. See it clearly in your mind's eye. Feel the emotions you would feel if it were already your reality. Experience the relief, the joy, the excitement of having what you desire. During the day, whenever you think of your desire, remind yourself that it's already yours in your imagination. Feel the gratitude of already having it, live from the state of your wish fulfilled. Don't worry about how it will come about. Don't try to figure out the steps you need to take. Simply live from the end, knowing that the universe will orchestrate the means. At the end of the 30 days, reflect on your experience. Notice any changes in your outer world, but more importantly, notice the changes in your inner world, in your thoughts, your feelings, your overall state of being. You may be amazed at what unfolds. You may find your desire manifesting in ways you never expected. Or you may find that you've changed in profound ways, regardless of whether your specific desire has yet appeared in your physical reality. Remember, the goal is not just to get things or achieve specific outcomes. The goal is to master your own consciousness, to understand and apply the principles that govern the universe, to become a deliberate creator of your life experience. You'll do this, you'll discover a profound truth. You're not separate from the universe. You are not a tiny speck in a vast, indifferent cosmos. You are an individualized expression of the one creative power that underlies all of existence. You are, in essence, the universe experiencing itself through your unique perspective. When you truly grasp this, when you live from this understanding, you'll see that there are no limits to what you can be, do, or have. You'll understand that you always get what you want. Because what you truly want, at the deepest level of your being, is to express and experience more of who you really are. And that, my dear friends, is the greatest adventure of all. It's the journey of self-discovery, of self-expression, of becoming more fully yourself. It's the journey of aligning your individual consciousness with the infinite consciousness of the universe. As you embark on this journey, know that you're not alone. The entire universe is supporting you, guiding you, working through you. Trust this process. Have faith in your own divine nature. Know that you are love, supported, and infinitely powerful. Remember, you always get what you want. So choose your thoughts wisely. Choose your feelings intentionally. Choose the state of consciousness you wish to embody. For in doing so, you are choosing the life you will experience. Go forth with this knowledge. Apply these principles in your daily life. Watch as your world transforms before your eyes. And know that as you do this, you're not just changing your own life. You're contributing to the evolution of consciousness itself. You're playing your unique part in the grand symphony of creation. Thank you for your attention, for your openness, and for your willingness to explore these profound truths. May your journey be filled with joy, wonder, and the thrill of conscious creation. Remember always, you're the operant power in your world. You are the one who decides what you will experience. You always get what you want. Go now and create the life of your dreams. For it is already yours, waiting for you to step into it. The power is yours. The choice is yours. The life you desire is yours. Claim it. Live it. Thank you. And may your life be a testament to the incredible power of your own consciousness.